Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to IQCIVILS IAS ACADEMY Guwahati. A great coach transforms life. Today we are going to discuss a very crucial and very important development from the current affairs, and it is linked to the defense technology. So I am covering this topic from science and technology point of view. The name of the topic is why India US fighter jet deal is very important. This topic is covered by me, Dr. Sachin Kadam, faculty at IQCIVILS IAS Academy Guwahati. This is our elite panel of faculties that include Sunil sir, Sachin sir, Anuj sir, Alok sir, Yogesh sir, Rizwan sir, Vikram sir and Nitin Kumar sir. We are starting our offline and online batches from 5th July, 12th July and 19th of July. So in the month of July we are starting 3 new batches, and these batches are available online as well as offline, guys. So you can register yourself for your online batch or even for your offline batch by calling on these numbers. This is the number of our director Mr. Anuj Singh, and this is our counselor Indrani Deka. So you can directly call on this number and book your seat at IQ Civils IAS Academy Guwahati online or offline batches. This is our YouTube class link or YouTube channel link. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is the Google review given by students to us, 4.9 star, that is rare and unique. So you can be rest assured about the quality and content available at IQ Civils IAS Academy Guwahati. A great coach transforms life. So today we are going to cover this topic from the direct news articles that appeared in the Hindu. The date of that article is 25th of June. I am recording this video on 27 June, and I'm 27 June, so it is a 2 days older news. So what exactly this deal is about and how it is going to ensure that defense preparedness of India is much more ahead, which is currently at a particular stage. So why US India fighter jet deal is important? So actually this deal is between General Electric, which is a US company, and HAL, that is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, which is a government aided company which is involved in the production of defense products. Okay, so with GE and HAL Limited signing a memorandum of understanding to co-produce. So first point that you need to remember under this deal, under this deal, F414 engines which are used in the jet or fighter jet aircrafts, they will be co-produced by two companies. One is Indian company HAL and another is General Electric, which is a US company. So they will co-produce these engines within India, which is very important. When you are producing some defense product within India, so it will provide employment to the people in India, as well as it will bring foreign investment to India, which is very crucial for the development of the Indian economy. So I appreciate this current government for this deal with the USA, because it is a historic deal. Till date, USA gave or helped us in defense products, but the problem was USA used to sell product to India. But now USA is giving products to India in the form of technology transfer. Okay. So these F414 engines will be co-produced in India. How will it boost IAF strength or Indian Air Force strength? Will the USA government and congressional approvals come through for the deal? Now, though officially this deal is done between USA and India, but the approval of the Congress and Senate of the USA is yet to be taken. Okay. So what exactly this deal is about? So the first point, coinciding with the Prime Minister Modi's first state visit, India and USA have announced a slew of deals in defense cooperation, see, then space technology, artificial intelligence and other areas. So you might read about the different deals that were finalized by India and USA in current visit of Indian Prime Minister, and I really appreciate for our Prime Minister and the current government for these deals with USA. Okay, the USA India joint statement mentions the landmark signing of MOU between GE and HAL for the manufacture of GE F414 jet engines in India. Second point that you need to remember about 414F engine, it is a jet engine. Okay, now if you go to the topic of these engines or to the topic of the jet engine, I would like to explain you few basic concept about the jet engine. See, there are two types of engine. One is rocket engine and another is jet engine. Both engines can be used in missiles. If you go through the UPSC Prelims 2023 question paper, there was one question that is based on the missile technology, or that is based on the defense technology. And in that question, they actually asked about the type of engines used in ballistic missile or type of engine used in cruise missiles. Okay, so these engines are already in news, so that's why I will explain you the basics. So normally these jet engines are used in two types of devices. Number one, they are used in the aircraft, that is your military aircraft, and second, they are used in the missiles. Jet engines are preferably used in the cruise missiles, keep that in mind. They are not used in ballistic missile. Then these jet engines are also known as air breathing engines. Why we call them air breathing engines? Reason is, normally like your vehicle, car or bike that you use, in both cases, in car as well as in bike, we use fuel, that is either petrol or diesel. But to burn this fuel, we also need oxidizer, that is oxygen. Without oxygen, you cannot burn anything on earth. So you need oxygen. Normally what happens ki engines of the missile as well as engines of the launch vehicles, they carry engines of the launch vehicle, they carry fuel as well as oxidizer with them. Fuel and oxidizer both are carried by the fuel as well as oxidizer both are carried by the launch vehicle and missile. So when you carry fuel and oxidizer both, so the problem in this case is weight of the engine will increase, and if weight of the engine increases, payload carrying capacity of the launch vehicle as well as missiles will reduce. So to increase the payload carrying capacity of missile and launch vehicle, we use air breathing engines. The main quality of air breathing engine is they carry only fuel, they do not carry oxidizer. Why they do not carry oxidizer? Because they use oxygen present in air, oxygen in air as oxidizer. So because they are not carrying oxidizer, so obviously it helps, because they are not carrying oxidizer, so obviously it helps the engine or the missile or launch vehicle to increase the payload carrying capacity. So what we call jet engine? Jet engines are known as air breathing engines. Why we call them air breathing engines? Because they carry only fuel and they do not carry oxidizer. Why they do not carry oxidizer? Because by not carrying oxidizer, they can increase their payload carrying capacity and they can increase their efficiency. Okay, so there are three types of jet engine. Number one is known as turbojet, or we also call that turbofan engine. So what is unique about turbojet or turbofan engine? These engines are mainly used in civilian aircraft. All the engines that you might have seen in the civilian aircrafts, they are all turbojet or turbofan engine, because they have a special fan at the front of the engine, so that they can take air from the atmosphere and use that air in the use oxygen present in that air for the burning of the fuel. I will show you the turbojet engine. Okay, very interesting. So this is the image of the turbojet engine. You might have seen this engine in many aircraft. See, this is the turbojet engine, which is present at exactly below the wings of the aircraft. In civilian aircraft, this engine is used. These are the turbofans which absorb air and provide that air to the fuel chamber, and where this fuel chamber burns fuel by using the oxygen present in the air. Clear? So this is about first turbojet or turbofan engine. Then after turbojet or turbofan engine, second engine that comes in the jet category is, we call that, first is turbojet engine, which is used in civilian aircraft. Second is ramjet engine, This is used in ramjet engine. This is used in military aircraft or missiles. Okay. And last one is scramjet engine, that is also used in military aircraft and the missiles. Okay, details about the ramjet engine and scramjet engine, I will come with that video some other day. Now just remember, because in news the term jet engine came, so you need to remember two facts about the jet engine. Number one, jet engines are also known as air breathing engines, and there are three types of jet engine. One is turbojet, second is ramjet, and third is scramjet. So these are the three types of jet engines that are known to us. And one more point, these jet engines can be used in the missile, but which type of missile? They are mainly used in the cruise missile, or they can be used in the aircraft, preferably military aircraft. But turbojet engine is also used in civilian aircraft. So this is the beauty of the of this article, and this is the beauty when you learn things from the experienced teacher. Okay, now a normal teacher would have told you whatever is given in the article only, but I explained you along with the article. I gave you the basics of the jet engine, which is very important and very crucial. So this is how you are supposed to study current affairs, particularly of science and technology, so that you can crack or you can answer questions that will be asked in UPSC preliminary examination. So coinciding with PM Modi's first state visit, India and the USA have announced a slew of deals in defense cooperation, space technology, artificial intelligence and other areas. The US-India joint statement mentions the landmark signing of a memorandum of understanding between GE and HAL for the manufacturing of GE F414 jet engines in India. Further, now why India need this F414 jet engine? So we want to use the jet engines in one aircraft. The name of that aircraft is Light Combat Aircraft MK2. Okay. Initially, this light combat aircraft is also known as Tejas. The original light combat aircraft is known as Tejas. Now we want to use these engines in upgraded version of Tejas. So that is known as LCA MK2 or Mark II. A fact sheet issued by the USA said a manufacturing license agreement has been submitted for congressional notification. Clear? So from this highlighted part you came to know, number one, F414 is a jet engine. What is jet engine? Types of jet engines and where exactly jet engine is used. Then why India need this jet engine? Because India want to use this jet engine in one of the military aircraft known as LCA Mk2. Let's go ahead. Now, what is the status of deal for us? The status of the deal is not important for us. The content of the deal is important. Status of the deal is important for the people within government. So, there would be an 80% transfer of production technology, which will see some critical technologies transferred to India. This is the most important and most crucial part of this defense deal. 80% technology needed for the production of this aircraft, 80% technology will be transferred. This is very important. See, buying ready-made military goods from America is not advisable for a country like India, because we are capable to manufacture and produce the defense products. Then why to buy ready to use products from the USA? This technology transfer, number one, helps India to increase self-sufficiency or self-reliance, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Then this technology transfer helps India to increase employment. Then this technology transfer helps India to increase defense infrastructure within India, which is ultimately going to help in long term in India for the manufacturing of defense within India. India in future can become a defense manufacturing hub for Asia, at least the way China is today. So 80% transfer of production technology, which will see some critical technologies transferred to India. It will take 3 years for the first engine to roll out once the contract is signed. See, now the first step of the contract is done. Now, once the contract is signed after the approval of the USA Congress and USA Senate, after starting the actual work on the manufacturing of this engine, it will take at least 3 years to come out for the first engine. It will see 80% technology transfer to HAL. Such a thing has never occurred before in the history of India-USA deal. Such a thing has never occurred before in the history of India's quest for high technology. The official said, except for a small component, the F414 INS-6 engine will be entirely manufactured in India, which also shows the trust India has evoked in the USA, the official said. Actually, it is less about the trust evoked by India and it is more about dealing with China. In USA is strengthening India just because they want to create a balance of power within Asia against China. That is the reason USA is strengthening India. Okay. So from these two highlighted points we came to know about 2. Number 1, what is jet engine, what is the name of the engine, what are the types of the jet engines and where exactly they are used, all these things. Then actual content of this deal is 80% technology for the production of F414 engine or jet engine will be transferred to India by USA. This is very important from this deal only. So first I told you the basics and then I told you the exact most important content from this deal. Okay, so this is 2 points are done. Now we are going to the third point. Okay, so if the deal goes through, now the deal is signed by the leaders, but this deal should be cleared by the legislature of India as well as USA. Indian legislature will clear, but the obstacles can be faced by this deal in American legislature. Okay, so if the deal goes through, it will mean transfer of almost the entire engine technology compared to the engine development agreement worked out in 2012 between General Electrics and HAL for F414 engine with 58% technology transfer, officials said. Now here a very important fact you will come to know. Even into the history of this deal in 2012, same deal took place between USA and India for the manufacturing of F14 engine in India, but under this deal complete engine will not be produced in India. Only 58% components of the engine will be produced in India and rest will be produced by America. But what is the difference between current deal and this previous deal? Now 80% means almost whole engine will be manufactured in India. Okay, this heralds a major high technology cooperation between the oldest, that is USA, and largest, that is India, democracies, which the USA had shared with only its closest allies. So by going ahead with this deal, USA is giving message to the world that in Asia, India is the most important and closest ally of USA, which is very crucial for India to deal with to deal with China and Pakistan. Okay, now what is the status of indigenous tech development? Now see, if India do not have F14 jet engine, then India do not have any jet engines. So India do have jet engines, but the jet engines developed by India, which are indigenously developed, are not as effective, as good as F14 jet engine. So what is the status of indigenous engines in India? So jet engine technology is the proprietary right of very few countries and is a closely guarded secret due to its extreme criticality in modern warfare. See, because these jet engines can be used in military aircraft, they can be used in missile, they can be used in launch vehicles. So any country with jet engine or jet engine technology can become a very advanced country when it comes to defense as well as comes to space technology. That's why those countries who have this jet engine technology, they do not share this technology with any other country. We are lucky enough, or we would say it is the success of Indian diplomacy that American companies or American government is ready to share this jet engine technology within India with 80% technology transfer. Okay, India made unsuccessful attempts in the past to develop an engine locally under the now shelved Kaveri project. So remember, if they ask you in preliminary examination, Kaveri project is related to, your answer will be development of jet engine for the missiles and the aircraft. So remember Kaveri project. This Kaveri project is related to the development of the jet engine for military aircraft or cruise missiles within India indigenously, but this project is not very successful. Okay, so India made unsuccessful attempts in the past to develop an engine locally under the now shelved Kaveri project. The Kaveri project was sanctioned by Cabinet Committee on Security, that is CCS, in 1989. So India is trying to develop indigenously. Uh, sorry, India is trying to develop jet engines indigenously since 1989, but India is unsuccessful. See, India tested these engines successfully, but India never used these engines in the missile or in the launch vehicle. That is the problem. Okay, testing in the lab is different, and actually using them in real life is different. And over the course of 30 years before it was shut down, it entered an expenditure of 2035.56 crore, which led to the development of 9 full prototype engines. So India indigenously developed 9 full prototype engines and 4 core engines, but they are not as well developed as the engine F14 that USA has. Okay, let's go ahead. Where will G engines be fitted? So the F414 engines are meant to power the indigenous LCA MK2. Remember, LCA MK2 is indigenously developed military aircraft of India. It is also known as Tejas. So the F414 engines are meant to power the indigenous LCA MK2, a large and more capable variant of LCA currently in service. Currently we have LCA Tejas in service. Would you like to see LCA Tejas? Here you go. This is the military aircraft developed by India indigenously. We call that Tejas, LCA Tejas. So this, the engine we are talking about, it will be used in this Tejas aircraft. Okay, this you can see this is a missile on the Tejas aircraft. Let's go ahead. So the F14 engines are meant to power the indigenous LCA MK2, a larger and more capable variant of LCA currently in service, and also the initial version of the 5th generation advanced medium combat aircraft. So there is one more aircraft that India is developing indigenously. The name of that aircraft is AMCA, and it is a 5th generation aircraft. Even the Rafale that we imported from France, it is also a 5th generation aircraft. It is very important for India to have indigenous capabilities to develop 5th generation aircrafts. Okay, so that is under development. The F14 is from the family of F404 engine that powers the current LCA Mk1 and also the LCA Mk1A that the Indian Air Force will start receiving early 2024 onwards. So there are multiple types of indigenous military aircrafts that India have: LCA Mk2, LCA Mk1, LCA Mk1A, and LCA Tejas. Okay, and these will be delivered to Indian Air Force in 2024. LCA Tejas is already in use by Indian Air Force. Okay, and F414 engine produces 98 kilonewton thrust compared to 84 kilonewton by the F404 engines. Okay, let's go ahead. This is one thing. Now next point that you need to remember, at the end of the this content I will explain you things in a crux. Okay, what exactly you need to remember. Then LCA Mk2, in which this engine F414 will be used. The LCA Mk2 is a major fillip for the IAF to arrest the dwindling fighter squadron, as several frontline fighters like Mirage 2000, Jaguar, MiG-29 will be phased out by the end of the decade. So already the number of military aircrafts, yeah, available to Indian Air Force are very less. So it is very important for Indian Air Force to increase indigenous development of the military aircraft, as well as to bring military aircraft from other not becomes weak. The three existing MiG-21 squadrons will also be phased out by end 2025. The strength of India's fighter squadron is 31 now from a sanctioned strength of 42. So, first I will explain you number of aircrafts in a single squadron. Okay, just a minute. Number of aircraft in squadron of India. Okay. So 16 to 20 we will take ठीक है 20 aircraft. So our total number of squadrons with India are 31 currently. 31 into 20 means 31 into 20. So it will be like 300 if I'm not wrong. I'm weak in mathematics, huh? So sorry for that. 31 into 20. So your answer will be 620 aircrafts are there, but India sanctioned 42 squadrons, means 42 into 20. That is, India is planning to have at least 840 military aircrafts, but currently we have only 620. And to make them 820, we cannot depend wholly on other country. We should develop our own indigenous capabilities for this. Clear? Understood? So this is all about the F414 military jet engine. Now I will explain you everything in short on our slides. Okay, just give me a second. I need to check out this thing. Fine. Fine. So what exactly we studied in this article? Let me explain. Number one, India is recently India and USA did a defense deal. Under that, F14 engine that is manufactured by General Electric of USA will be manufactured by HAL within India. Okay, and what is this? It is a jet engine. Where it is used? It is used in military aircraft. In case of India, in which military aircraft this jet engine will be used? In case of India, it will be used in LCA MK2, that is Light Combat Aircraft MK2. In this aircraft, we are going to use this engine. Now, what is jet engine? These are the engines which use oxygen present in the air as an oxidizer and carry only fuel, which helps them to become less which helps them to make their engines lighter, and because of the lighter engines they can travel longer distances, they can carry more fuel, as well as they can do many maneuvers. Okay, how many types of jet engines are there? There are three types of jet engine. One is turbojet engine, second is ramjet engine, and third is scramjet engine. Okay, so these are the basics and that are linked to the current affairs that we are going through. So this is first point. Second point, what exactly when we are doing this F414 jet engine deal, so 80% component of this jet engine will be manufactured in India, which is very important. So it will boost our self-reliance or Atmanirbhar Bharat concept. Clear? Then, is there any history of such same type of deal? The answer is yes. In 2012, in India did same deal in which 58% of component of this jet engine will be produced in India. So this is all about this India USA defense deal that is linked to only a fighter jet. There is one more component of this deal. There are actually multiple, but there is one more component of this deal. Under the same deal, India is buying 31 MQ9B drones from USA. So these drones will also be used by India's defense for the defense. Okay. So what are the capabilities of the soon to be procured MQ9B high altitude, long endurance, unmanned aerial vehicles? What is the process to be followed for timely delivery? So first point that you need to remember is MQ9B are HALE, that is HELV UAVs. What you need to remember, first point, MQ9B, these are the high altitude, long endurance, means they can travel at a very high height and they can remain in the air for very longer duration. So high altitude, long endurance, unmanned aerial vehicles. This is the first point that you need to remember for UPSC as well as state services examination. They can ask you what is MQ9B. So now you know what is MQ9B. So see, the under same deal, this sets the stage for the acquisition of 31 of these armed UAVs, which contains 15 Sea Guardians. Now, what is the meaning of Sea Guardians? These UAVs, 15 UAVs, will be used to guard the Indian Ocean, okay, for the Indian Navy, and 16 Sky Guardians plus 16 Sky Guardians. So it is total 31. Sky Guardian means they will be used by the Air Force, and Sea Guardians will be used by the either Indian Army or the Navy. So this sets the stage for the acquisition of 31 of these armed UAVs, 15 Sea Guardians for the Indian Navy, Sea Guardians for the Indian Navy, and 16 Sky Guardians, 8 each for the Indian Army and Air Force. So under this deal, we are buying UAVs, 15 UAVs for Navy, 8 UAVs for Army, and 8 UAVs for Air Force. The UAVs for Army and Air Force, we are calling them Sky Guardians. Okay, and for Navy, we are calling them Sea Guardians. Yeah, let's go ahead. So giving more details on the nature of purchase, the joint statement said that MQ9Bs, which will be assembled in India, again very important, like F14 jet engine, which will be manufactured in India, these MQ9Bs will be assembled in India, okay, which will be assembled in India, that will enhance the intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities of India's armed forces across the domains. Obviously, UAVs are mainly used for gathering intelligence, okay. As part of this plan, General Atomics will also establish a comprehensive global maintenance, repair and overall facility in India in support of India's long-term goals to boost indigenous defense capabilities. So again, this deal that is related to the UAVs, ultimately it is also going to boost our capabilities as a Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliance, okay, because in the under this deal also these UAVs will be assembled in India and they will be maintained and repaired in India, okay, they will be maintained and repaired in India. Let's go ahead. That is a very good thing. I really appreciate for these deals to this current government. See, ideological differences are different, but if your enemy, even if your enemy is doing something good, we should appreciate that, okay. That doesn't mean that this current government is my enemy, but I don't like some policies of this current government, which is natural, like, right? You cannot like everything done by a particular government. Even I didn't like many things done by the Congress, okay, so you can't say I am a supporter of Congress. Let's go ahead. What do the UAVs bring in terms of capability, okay? MQ9B has two variants, so there are two types of UAVs under the term MQ9B, okay, which I already told you. Number one, Sky Guardian, they are mainly used by the Army and Air Force to gather intelligence from the land, and Sea Guardian, they are mainly used by the Navy to gather intelligence from the ocean or sea, okay. It's maritime variant. The MQ9B is designed to fly over the horizon via satellite, very important. This MQ9B directly use satellites for navigation. They are not dependent on the ground stations for their navigation, okay, via satellite for up to 40 hours. That's why we are calling them long endurance, high altitude and long endurance. Why we are calling them long endurance? Because they can remain in the air for 40 hours. That is, their endurance is more, depending upon configuration in all types of weather and safety, integrate into civil air force according to its manufacturing. So very important point about MQ9B, they can survive in all types of environment, okay. The Sea Guardian configuration can include 360-degree surface search maritime radar, automatic identification system, Sonobuoy monitoring system means they will use sonar system for gathering information. Then sonobuoy dispensers for persistent anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare missions. According to General Atomics, the MQ9B can provide roughly 80% of the capability of a large human-flown maritime patrol aircraft at about 20% of its cost per hour, which is very important. If you use human operated aircraft for gathering intelligence, so it will need 100 rupees. I'm just giving you example, 100 rupees per hour to fly. At the same time, if you use MQ9B, so it will incur only 20 rupees per hour. So we are saving 80 rupees per hour. Plus, when a human operated aircraft is trying to gather intelligence from Pakistan or China, there is a risk of loss of human life. That will not happen in case of MQ9B because it is an unmanned aerial vehicle. Okay, that makes it much more economical for navies to, for example, send out sea guardians to clear big volumes of air or sea, and then if anything of interest is discovered, then you can send human operated aircraft to destroy enemy vector in a human crewed aircraft to save it the time, cost and wear that it otherwise might have expended, the company stated. So by using these MQ9B aircraft, we can save human life as well as we can reduce the cost of operation in the for the Indian Navy as well as for the Indian Air Force. Okay, then as it significantly reduces the wear and tear on manned aircraft, its fleet of 12 P-8I long-range maritime patrol aircraft as well as reduce crew fatigue in keeping an eye over the wide expanse of the Indian Ocean region and beyond. Because see, if human is observing the Indian Ocean to gather information, there is a probability that human might miss something, right? But these are the machines, unmanned aerial vehicles are machines, correct? So they can do things without any fatigue. For the Army and Air Force, the MQ9B can provide round-the-clock surveillance looking far beyond the border. They can observe Pakistan and China as well if they are in air. For instance, on the moment of Chinese military buildup and troop movement along the LAC, understood why USA is helping us, because USA want to make a neighbor strong, China's neighbor strong, so that they can manage China. It also seamlessly integrates with other US origin platforms that India operates. So India is already using P-8I aircrafts, AH-64 Apache attack helicopters, MH-60R multi-role helicopters, which are from USA. So these UAVs can easily integrate with them. So it will ultimately helps to improve India's army strength. Now you already know all these things. I will tell you things in crux and then we will end this class. So US President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed India's plans to procure General Atomics MQ9B high altitude long endurance, that is HALE UAVs. The joint statement issued last week after talks between two leaders. Then according to a senior Minister of Defense official, India is negotiating to increase the indigenous content under the deal. The current indigenous content proposed is 8 to 9%, while India is hoping it can be increased up to 15 to 20%. So main objective of whether it is a jet engine or whether it is UAV, India's main objective is to improve India's capabilities to manufacture these things indigenously. Okay, the MQ9B has two variants, the Sky Guardian and the Sea Guardian. Its maritime variant. The MQ9B is designed to fly over the horizon via satellite for up to 40 hours depending on configuration. So what exactly we learned in this articles or in this class? So basically we learned, number one, the first thing that we learned from this class is F414 jet engine and all the details of that jet engine deal. And second that we learned from this class is about MQ9B unmanned aerial vehicles or UAVs, which are the category of MQ9B is they are HALE, that is high altitude long endurance unmanned aerial vehicles. Then how many types of MQ9B are there? Number one is Sea Guardian. Okay, these Sea Guardians will be used by Navy, and Sky Guardian. Sky Guardians will be used by Air Force and the Army. Okay, how many total MQ9B unmanned aerial vehicles we are buying? We are buying 31. Out of them, 15 are from Navy or are for Navy, and 16 are for Army plus Air Force. How? 8 for Army and 8 for Air Force. Okay, so this is all about the, not exactly all, but this is all about the most important topics that can be asked in UPSC preliminary examination from the defense deal between India and USA that was signed recently. Okay, now that's all from my side for the today, guys. This is IQ Civils IAS Academy. You can see IQ Civils IAS Academy is running many government projects so that meritorious students from Assam can crack UPSC and APSC, and they can fulfill their dream to become an IAS or state PCS officer. Okay, then as I already told you, we are starting our new batches from 5th July, 12th July and 19th July, that is from next month. So if you are really serious about preparing UPSC or APSC by staying in Guwahati or from online platform, so you should join IQ Civils IAS Academy. So if you want to join IQ Civils IAS Academy, call on these numbers, this one and this one, these two numbers, and you can book your seat for your online as well as offline classes at IQ Civils IAS Academy. Like this video, share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you will never miss any important update related to the UPSC. All the notes of these classes are available on this Telegram channel, so don't forget to subscribe to this Telegram channel as well. So that's it from my side, guys, for the today. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care. Sayonara. See you soon.